John Ryan. How are you, John?
Very good. Different today. Good evening. I would like to see James Appt on the city council because he brought to light about what was going on through this whole town. And he really believes in this town. I think you make a good councilor. Thank you.
Jess Henry is, in the past, the way that's been handled is that a couple of ways to handle it. You can have people stand up and tell us all about themselves, or sometimes that doesn't work so good, and people won't do that. They don't care much one way or the other, but the council feels that they will do it. Usually, other than that, Councilor or somebody on the council will make a motion for somebody, and if there's a second, they're going to vote. And if they don't, the vote doesn't prevail, then it goes to another count. Is that the way?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Terry Callahan in the position. Second.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Terry Callahan. Is there any discussion?
The reason I picked Mr. Terry Callahan out of this is it's a short amount of time. It's 5 months. Mr. Callahan has been a counselor before, and he would know all the rules and regulations.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, vote or call for the vote. Yeah.
Councilor Kordowski.
Aye.
Mayor Troy.
Aye.
Councilor Barclay.
Aye.
Councilor Fortune.
Aye.
Councilor Baszler. Councilor Clark. Aye.
Motion carries.
You don't know what you're doing first.
I, being first duly sworn, dispose and say that I will defend and support the Constitution and laws of the United States, Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon, the charter and ordinances of the city of Oakridge, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of city councilor for the city of Oakridge. I will faithfully, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of city council for the city of Oakridge. So help me God.
While he's signing that, I want to thank all of those that applied for this position. And I would like to remind you that elections are in a few months. So if you're going
Yes,
to...
I didn't, can I say something, Mr. Chair? I would just like to say that I don't think there's a person on this list that wouldn't have been capable.
No, that's a good list.
Congratulations.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. If there were other people who applied, wouldn't I mean, Terry's fine, I don't have a problem. But,
Have a problem.
you know, it seems to me, if only for public information, you should have read the names of the people who had applied, rather than just nominating somebody and voting them in immediately. And, you know, I mean,
And that's what you brought up earlier.
yeah.
Actually, I can
It
tell you.
leaves all kinds of room for those gray areas that people don't really like to get into.
I wish you'd have told me earlier.
If I had known, I would have.
Well, there's a few of them that are still here.
Do you want to name them
The
all?
ones that applied were James Appt, Don Hadley, Terry Callahan, Jim Cooey, is that how I pronounce it? Coey.
Jean Okamoto.
Oh, yeah, and, how do you say that?
I pronounce Okamoto, is she
Jean
here?
Okamoto.
See, from my perspective, you should have read the name, they should have asked whether or not they were nominated, you know, if somebody on the board nominated. You know, go through the whole process. It's a pain, but,
Typically, they're not nominated by the board, they're voted on, it's by.
well, yeah, that's what I mean, but, you know, offered and then people could nominate or
Oh, I
vote.
like your idea.
I can't,
And the other thing, just once you have 4 votes for any candidate, and the same happened when I took my seat, because actually Councilor Baszler was the only one that didn't vote for anybody. Once you have 4 votes, the discussion's done, because
Right.
there's not enough votes to go any other direction.
well, the way, from my perspective, the way it should have been done is the name should have been read. Then somebody could have made a motion for one person or another, okay? And then you make, as you go through the list, if nobody is, if no motion is made for that person, then you skip over. But then after you've got motions made, then you make the vote for the council, for the 4 people that you want. You know what I'm saying? It's a little time
More
consuming.
Open.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, it gives us all the perception that you want us to know rather than you don't want us to know.
I prefer, actually, my first suggestion was to have them stand up, tell us something about themselves, that way you would have known who they were.
Yeah, exactly.
That council member, but not anything. And I still like that idea better, but then tag to that, I like your idea too, so.
And actually, last time there was some campaign involved. In that process.
Ron?
May I ask one question? If Mr. Callahan was on the council once before, what was the reason you quit, or did you just fill a full term?
I was a counselor, first appointed, and then I served 1 full term and was into a 2nd term, and then I had some health issues at that time, and I left early to take care of those health issues.
I was just curious, I mean, just something we'd like.
By the way, I need to shake your hand. Forgot that part too. That's why I have people following around, so what I'm supposed to do. Okay, select citizens for city administrator review committee. You have in your packet the names of those people that have applied to be on the review committee for the new city administrator. And we'll go into the process.
Would you like me to read the names?
Yeah, I was trying to find them. Yes, if you would.
Okay, the applicants for the city administrator review committee were Kent Dockery, Ron Freeborg, Jess Henry, Dale Spencer, Terry Walker, Elizabeth Ward, and Eugene Welsh, which is a pretty good process.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that we appoint all of them to the review committee.
Second,
Been moved and seconded that all the applicants be appointed to the review committee. Is there any discussion?
I was just gonna, like Louis said, it's a good cross-section. I know most of us get one, I like cross-section. We wanted the number similar to the council. We got 7. In looking through some of the questions that they submitted, I think we absolutely need to make sure we provide these committees questions that can and cannot be asked. But I like the group, and I think it's good diversity.
There will be one staff person on this committee for that purpose to guide them along.
And the other question I would have would be probably for Susan. The volunteer forms, is it just me, or am I seeing old forms and new forms? Because we adopted the new form, and it looks like a gaggle of,
Yeah, I'm not sure that happened. We have all new forms out there now.
but the one on the website is the old form.
It's still the old form?
So
Okay.
they're downloading off the web, and, okay. that
Okay,
explains it.
that needs to be changed.
But
and I
there was
didn't realize
a
we
mix
were
of
on.
forms, which, the information was there, it's just different.
All righty.
And I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Spencer didn't fill out one of those forms, or did he fill out
You
one?
did.
No, it was either or, Counselor
Oh,
Clark.
I thought
It was
said-
either a letter of interest
Okay.
or
Okay.
the form.
Well, I have no problem with
You
Mr.
submitted
Spencer
it.
being on
So
it.
he submitted a letter.
I just wondered if he needed to fill one of those out.
No.
Yeah, it was, submitted a question for completed city volunteer
Yes.
form.
His letter's on page 20.
Yes, I see it now.
All righty, there's a motion on the floor. Further discussion?
The only other thing I could say is to make this a perfect, if we would have had one young person. I always like to see a
We have
young.
one left.
Okay,
We
I'll
have
do it.
some young, and I would love to see some young people.
I take
get on
offense to that.
This is all about, the city is for them. I mean, we're all gonna be dead and gone, and they're still gonna be.
What?
For yourself.
I'm not feeling well today.
But you got Ron Freeborg in the back, that's like having two middle-aged people.
Dan's got a bobblehead, how about it work?
All right, let's get it back under control here. Time to vote.
And I take exception to we all.
Oh, you don't think you will?